Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi, managing editor of Canada's podcast, taking care of business today with Jeffrey Blanc, who is general manager of Cyber Impact. Thanks for joining us today, Jeffrey.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right, let me just ask a little bit about Cyber Impact. Tell me what Cyber Impact is and what it does.
Yeah, sure. So Cyber Impact is a Canadian email marketing platform. Basically, we send email and we provide a tool for SMBs, government, NPOs. All sorts of companies are using our system.
Tell me a little bit about email marketing. Can you explain just a little bit about what it is and why it's important in this day and age, especially for small businesses and entrepreneurs?
Yeah, so email marketing, especially what we do is marketing tool that most businesses should be doing. It's one of the most effective and one of the most, actually the best, one of the best ROI in terms of marketing tools there. Especially here in Canada with all the different compliance that we have to take care of. This tool is very important for any businesses. And again, it's one of the best marketing tool, especially combined with social media, any other marketing uh, aspect of your business. It's always like a great combination.
What's the capacity in terms of the number of emails a business could send out?
There's actually like no capacity. There's some rules that need to be followed in terms of deliverability, in terms of list acquisition as well, because again, there's some compliance that needs to be respected, especially with the castle and the PPEDA here in Canada. So you could have like, 500 contacts to millions of contacts as long as
Oh.
you acquire them the right way there.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the actual sending out of an email marketing campaign. What are the biggest mistakes small businesses make when they're email marketing, and how can they fix those?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say it's a mistake, but it's more an evolution of the email marketing practice, especially in 2025. We strongly recommend all the businesses to start personalizing their campaign. And when they send out email, what really works is everything has to be personalized to whoever you're sending. So let's say you're sending to 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 emails there. You should be able to personalize an email. And personalizing an email could be as simple as having in the subject, "Hi, Jeffrey, hope you're doing well," or "Hi, Jeffrey, here's the promotion," or "Hi, Jeffrey, is the new information about the latest products there." So by having the name and a few different information in the email, and a few different personalization will greatly enhance the KPI of the campaigns that you will be doing as well there.
Now, I'm not an expert in this, but I imagine if you have like 50,000 email addresses, you don't go through each one, right? And say, hi,
No, no.
Jeffrey, hi,
No.
Mario, and tell me and explain how
Yeah.
that works.
Yeah, so and that's actually another thing is in 2025 we strongly recommend not just having an email address. You should be having like first name, last name, or just first name at least, but also to have a little bit more information. It could be, the total amount that that client has spent with you, or any preferences that you know about your clients, any data that you could have about a client
Uh-huh.
uh, is very useful in terms of personalization. And that's where you're going to get the most out of any campaigns that you are doing there is by personalizing the approach for every client. And the way it's done, obviously, it's done in the platform and it's all pre-built. It would be done by itself. When you send, you just select the preferences and all that there, and it will adjust the email accordingly to the information that you have about that person.
Hmm. Now, you touched a little bit on this just a couple of minutes ago, but can you talk a little bit more about comparing social media and in terms of engagement and ROI to email marketing?
Yes. So what I usually say when I do conferences across Canada there, it's just that I'm not saying social media is best or email marketing is best. I'm just saying has to be a combination of both. The thing is, email marketing is more stable. We've seen what happened like just a couple of weeks ago when we heard about TikTok probably leaving the States. We've seen, changes when X was acquired by Elon Musk. There are people leaving all those platforms. So social media has an history of always changing, algorithm evolving and impacting the way you reach
Yeah.
your community and all that. On the contrary, email marketing, if it's well done, whatever you acquire in terms of information in email will stay and belong to you. You have the perfect control on your data and you can reach without any problem that person directly into his or her inbox there.
Yeah. Now, when you're looking at an email marketing campaign, obviously the goal is to have people look at them, right? And so
Yeah.
tell me, some strategies to improve your open rates and your conversions.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things. So in the last year, there was some changes in terms of email deliverability. So now you have to make sure that you have properly configured your domain to make sure that your email is not rejected by anti-spam system and all that. So that's a first there. Second thing, you have to look into what type of content you're including in your email, just making sure that you don't use what we call spam words. So anything that says free or you could win or stuff like that. You need to make sure that you don't include that in your emails. There's some tools available online that helps you verify the spamminess of your email. So that is something that you could do. The second thing, to enhance KPIs, especially in 2025, like I said, personalization, segmentation as well. A type of email would not be the same for B2B and B2C. If you have different types of products, so that means your clientele is different as well. So you should probably, segment that information and segment your list in order to send the appropriate content. So it all goes down to, that personalization, hyper personalization, segmentation, in order to enhance your KPI. So that's very, very important. We talk about compliance as well. Being compliant, acquiring your list the right way as well makes your KPI better. So sending what we say, it's not the size of the list that you have, it's the quality of this list. So if you have 10,000 emails, you're probably gonna get like KPIs, that are not good compared to someone that only has half of that, but really work into acquiring the proper way there.
Hmm. Now you talked a lot about compliance. Tell me, and I imagine this is an evolving area, right, in the industry, but tell me what businesses should know to stay compliant.
Yes. So in Canada, we have the Canadian anti-spam legislation, which is the CASL. It's been around for almost 12 years, something like that there. That is a legislation that requires Canadian company or anyone doing, email marketing into Canada to make sure that they have certain items in their campaign mailing and the way they acquire also their list there. So that's a first. We could definitely talk about that for hours there because there's like so many little things to understand. But just to give you an example, you cannot go out there and just buy a list and add people directly into your list. That's not as per Castle. So you really need to make sure that people that comes or that you have in your list, they're basically acquired the right way. So it could be like a customer, it could be someone that registered on your website or just subscriber to your newsletter, but it has to be the right way. And there's a difference between imply and express consent as well. The best consent that you could get is the express consent, which is basically a double opt-in or a real confirmation that someone wants to be part of your list. The implied consent would be, like I said, a customer. So someone that did a purchase on your website or in store and you want to acquire that email address. It's what we call an implied consent, but it's not the final consent. So you should be getting the express.
Mhm.
Apart from that, there's also the PIPEDA, so the Privacy Act. So you have to be aware of the information that you're gathering, and you have also to make sure that you're putting everything in place to make sure that this information remains private and that there's no leak, there's no breach. So that's one law that is across Canada and that is also evolving. What I always say is that there's different version of it as well. British Columbia, Alberta, they have their own version of the PIPEDA Act. And in Quebec, we have the Law 25 that is in place now, that has been around for the past 3 years, which requires more um, uh, privacy and more a better consent also of the data you're acquiring. So this, cannot be covered like within minutes because it's very complex. But companies across Canada or anyone that is sending emails in Canada or that has information about people residing in Canada should definitely look into those laws to make sure that they're compliant to it.
All right. And last question for you, Jeffrey. When you're looking at current trends in the industry, what trends do you see shaping the future of email marketing?
A lot of hyper personalization. So we will be looking into making sure that newsletter or emails that you send are like really hyper personalized. Like information would be, everything in that newsletter would be personalized to the person you're sending. The other thing that we see a lot of different content as well. So, what we want to see inside a newsletter you is going to be a little bit more of gift videos type of stuff there, and there's also quizzes like surveys as well. So
Mhm.
that's what we see that is really different. And the other thing that we see is, and it's more not, it's more for companies, but we see like also a trend where companies are starting to implement a little bit more marketing automation into their emailing practice there. So making sure that emails, will be triggered or sent automatically without having someone that does it manually there. So that's going to be saving a lot more time to companies, and it's going to improve also KPIs.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Jeffrey, for joining us today.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, that
Have a
was
nice day.
that was Jeffrey LeBlanc. Sorry, Jeffrey Blanc, General Manager of Cyber Impact. I'm Mario Toneguzzi, Managing Editor of Canada's Podcast. Thanks for joining us today.